Greenkill presents Words Carry Us, an ongoing series of live stream events featuring readings and interviews from Kingston, New York. Welcome. I'm Betty MacDonald, writer, storyteller, and host of Words Carry Us. Before I introduce tonight's guest, I'd like to take this opportunity to read some of my work. This first piece is dedicated to David Shell, who runs this place. It's called Smells Like Money. Shelley held up 2 nickels, trailing a tissue and little flecks of dust onto the car seat. I dug into the pockets of my jeans, retrieving a penny and a gum wrapper. From under the seat, we scored another nickel. We had enough for a pack of dominoes, the bright red pack with a graphic of Harlequin in black and white, covered in crinkly cellophane. Tobacco was the backdrop of our lives because it was the backbone of the local economy. Our family's business catered to a clientele of tobacco farmers and tobacco factory workers. Throughout our shared childhood, the highlight of weekly car trips to Hopewell to pick up Nana for Sunday dinner in our house was the sighting of the 2 giant cigarette packs in front of the Lucky Strike factory out on Petersburg Pike. Finally, at 16 years old, with 16 cents between us, we bought into the local economy. We purchased our first pack. Shelley grabbed the thin red stripe at the top and pulled, releasing the heady aroma of our hometown premier crop. Even this less than top quality product emitted the glorious odor. Daddy often repeated, when the wind from the tobacco factory shifted in our direction, smells like money. Look, Shelley said as she selected one of the slim, extra-long white cylinders and pointed to the red line at a third of the way down. Don't smoke past this line. Bad for your lungs. This piece is called Like Summer Trees. Deserting from the army, he wrote a poem to me in German. Your hair is like summer trees, he translated. It was. He was bent on rescuing me. I understood the fantasy, a cool adventure, a diversion. But I longed to make my own decisions or be rescued by someone who offered me more choices. Was it a Hail Mary for him? His last desperate effort to get away with deserting, to get the heck out of here before they figured out where he was? Was he using me as an identity shield, not in a bad way? Upon drowning, you reach for any buoyant object. Unaware of the high-stakes drama in his life, I was hyper-focused on my own world falling apart. Had my rejection pushed him to give himself up to the authorities? Was I his last chance at buoyancy? This is called Dialogue with Angus. A hopeless gulf loomed between us. My words lobbed back, dropped meaninglessly around me. I can't do this. You're too good for me. I am no match for you. We're doing it, he said, in triumph. I'm proud of us. You don't hear me. You don't listen. I'm holding back tears. I do listen. His grown-up arms encircled me. Looking into his eyes, I see into him as clearly as when he was a child, back when we were each other's first choice. This is also about Angus. It's unthinkable he's gone. A force of nature gone. His birth, marvelous, his brilliance and beauty culled from the best of his forebears. Embodied, and the very best of me. Grown into the strength of a man beloved by his offspring, proud of their inheritance, each one a connection to his talent, his brilliance, his beauty, his story. So like him, as though my love had shattered into many beloveds. This is called My Soul is a Bird. My soul is a bird, flying through the twinkling frosted cookie sky through the magic night. Look, I said, look at the sunset. Remembering how she had sharpened my awareness when I was a child, joyfully, I reminded her. I know, she said, in that been there, done that disappointment. It does it every night. And this last one, is this the last one? Yeah. This last one I wrote on my 92nd birthday in July. I still want to ring the bell, catch the brass ring as I go around one more time, one more year. Some recognition, not looking for an award. Does it matter what you think, what you think you're headed for? What is the ending? What is beyond? Is there beyond? An old hippie chant reclaims my attention. Beyond the beyond. It's not very far. Beyond the beyond. It's just where you are. Ulster County Poet Laureate Mike Jurkovic has published globally. Collections include Buckshot Reckoning, Moon Cursors, American Mental, and a haiku collection, Monet's Bamboo. His latest book, Circling Plains, just came out. Let's welcome, Mike is a Pushcart nominee and president of Calling All Poets. Let's welcome tonight's guest, Mike Jurkovic.
Hi, Betty. Hi, everybody. How are you guys? Thank you for having me on tonight. Shall I read one just to break the ice?
Yes, please.
Okay. This is called Dead Star Paradigm. The worst book I ever read took me years to plagiarize. So blame yourselves if it didn't sell. I attempted conflict, but you shouted me down time and time and time again, like the sad song of trains derailing. The worst book I ever read wasn't a book at all, but a confession by a man who no longer held the line between alliance and scorn, axis and the trackless sky. The worst book I ever read, shipped free, 2 for 1, after midnight on all the local channels. We all had a hand in the worst book I ever read, each hoarding horsepower, cornmeal, and coin, watching as the choppers darked the sky.
Nice.
Want another one?
Sure.
All right. This is a relatively old one that's now a new one, and it's called Widow. It was early June, and I was hoping for a hand job from Carrie Ann Prentice at the opening of the Camden Drive-In in Pennsauken, New Jersey, 1933. My dad's cherry red Plymouth 8 gleaming in the cerulean glow of Wives Beware. A 1930 British comedy of errors I recall absolutely nothing about, but suspect, like all comedies of error, to be about hand jobs. How many and by whom? Did I mention Carrie Ann played piano? Knit scarves for a nickel, October 1929. Led her regional Girl Scout troop for 2 years in the fine art of macrame. She had slender hands and the humor of an angel, a cute angel too, an angel whose smile I see so clearly as I place this rose upon our stone, hoping to lay at her side again soon.
Nice. I hear you have a new book out, Circling Plains.
Circling Plains, yep.
Yes.
Comes out, it's out from Bushwhack Books right here in Kingston. Like to thank Will Nixon for coming up with the idea. Will had the idea that as an Ulster County publisher, if he published the Ulster County Poet Laureate, we might be able to make a few headlines. And that lasted for maybe 2 or 3 days, and here we are today. But it's beautiful. I like it. Thanks, Will.
Can you see that? Hold it up. Oh, you're holding up too high. There
There
it
you
is.
go.
There. Oh, I love that cover.
Thank you. That cover is by my deceased cousin, Mio Leonardi, who was a wonderful artist and just died way too young. But I always swore when he gave me that painting that I was going to use that for an album cover or a book cover. So here it is as a book cover.
Well, I'm glad to see it. So tell us about, okay, what's the most important thing here? I'm calling all poets, poetry as protest, and your the archive project.
Let's go with Poetry for Protest, being that we're in such dire street times. Poetry for Protest, Poetry as Protest and Political Action is a program that I started about 18 months ago, even before the laureateship. And what I really wanted to do was just bring a peaceable assembly is all I wanted. And we've done them in libraries in Woodstock and Kingston and Highland and
New Paltz, that's
and New
where I
Paltz.
saw you, yeah.
And we did one in Gardner also. And we also do it at the Beehive in Beacon, which is just its own beast when we do it there, because there's several veterans show up and there's a climate scientist who comes in, and the conversation is just absolutely phenomenal.
And where's that?
The Beehive is on Eliza Street in Beacon.
In Beacon,
Yeah.
okay.
Because I work with Dutchess County Poet Laureate Ruth Danon to put these things on in Dutchess County. And she's been very helpful and wonderful that way. And so what each one is I'll start with a couple of things. Maybe I'll read some Diane DePrima, maybe some Merwin, maybe some Denise Levertov or something like that, or maybe a couple of mine. And if I have a couple of guest speakers, they'll read a couple things. And if someone in the audience wants to ask a question about it and it develops into a conversation about, what the hell do we do now? How do we keep ice out of the neighborhood? It becomes more like a strategy session than a
Yes.
poetry reading, which is really neat. We did one just up at the Rehar Center in Kingston, right around the corner there, on Wednesday. And once I started reading the amendments, the amendments to the Bill of Rights, people were just like, yeah, well, that one's getting fractured and that one's getting, and,
Yes.
how do we, so each one becomes its own thing. And what's really been great about this is that Ruth had the great idea to come out of Poetry for Protest and do actual readings of the Constitution, bringing artists and local politicians and just regular people off the street reading the Constitution, and bringing a constitutional professor with us, one from one of the colleges or something, to answer questions and give insight. And it's just really, we did the first one in Beacon, which was great. We're doing one at the Rehar Center in Kingston on 9/26. We're doing one at the Cornell Creative Center in Kingston on 10/28.
So let's say those dates.
9/26, it's a Saturday.
September 26th.
September 26th from noon to 4
And that's going to be at Rehar.
at the Rehar Center in Kingston.
Okay.
And then we're doing one on 10/28, Wednesday, the 28th of October, from, I believe it's going to be 4 to 7. I'm not sure on the time yet. That's at the Cornell Creative Space in Kingston.
And that's on O'Neill Street?
No, that's on Cornell Street.
Cornell Street,
yeah.
okay.
And then we're doing, I totally forgot the dates. I should have wrote them down. But we're doing one, not a constitutional reading, but Poetry for Protest at the Woodstock Library in September, third Friday in September, and the third Friday in October, both in Woodstock. And we do Elting every other month, and we got one coming up in September.
Boy, are you busy. How did you get a book done?
I got lucky.
You're lucky.
I got lucky, you know. I had a lot of stuff left over from the last one, so I kind of like jammed it all together. But the Constitution readings are really what we're trying to concentrate on right now, because people need to know what's in it, and they
Yeah,
need
a
to
lot
hear
of
it for
people
themselves.
don't know.
No, they don't. And what's nice is that when we bring the professors with us, they'll either give insight, or they'll take questions, or they'll ask questions. And it's been just great. I can't wait to do it again.
So where can people look to find those dates and those?
They'll all be online. You can go to Calling All Poets website. They'll be there. You can find me on Substack and on Facebook, and they'll be there. The dates will be there. We make a big deal about broadcasting these things. Also on Instagram, they're also on there too.
Excellent, excellent. So part of your time is taken up with Calling All Poets.
Yes.
And that's been going on a long time, right?
20, I can't remember if we're in our 27th or 28th year. So, yeah, and we're actually scheduling the 2027 schedule right now.
Yay.
Calling All Poets started in Beacon in 1999. I went on board with Calling All Poets sometime in 2003, and we've been a growing concern ever since. And, you know, it seems bizarre to say, hey, something good came out of COVID, but, you know, they invented Zoom, and
Zoom is great.
Zoom has literally taken us to international memberships. And I mean, some of the features that we have next year or even this year, from Malaysia, Ireland, Italy, Ukraine, it's just been amazing, the way it's hooked people up. It's really been Brooklyn, which is a whole planet in and of itself. So, but yeah, so CAPS is just www.callingallpoets.net. If you want to check it out, would be the best way to do that.
I enjoyed very much reading for Calling All Poets. I reached an audience I hadn't reached before, and it was enlightening. It was really good for me.
Yeah, that's really the beautiful part. I mean, you know, we were always centered in the Hudson Valley tri-state area, and, you know, but once we went to Zoom, it just, people were coming in from all over, you know. We had this wonderful woman read from Ireland that just blew everybody away.
Wow.
We had, I mean, literally, we do 2 events a month, every first Friday and every third Thursday at 7 p.m. our time. And every time there are 2 women from Australia.
Wow.
And they are there to read or listen. Doesn't really matter. One woman, her name is Maggie Hall. She's like, you guys are more family to me than anybody else has ever been family to me before.
Her name is Maggie?
Maggie Hall, yeah.
Maggie Law.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just been amazing. Julian comes in from Malaysia. Siobhan comes in from Ireland. There are a couple other people that come in from Ireland.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, it's wonderful. And not to mention, one of the readers, two of the readers that are reading for us next month in September on the 4th, John Bartel is from Texas. Sean Panowski, is from Hawaii. And it's wonderful. And Barb Jennings is from Connecticut. So it's great. It's just everybody's from everywhere. So you really get a whole cross-pollination. And we love it. It's really just been great for us.
That's great feeling, that kind of connection with so many people in
Absolutely.
so many places.
Yep, it sure is.
Yep. You want to talk about the Hudson Valley Poetry Archive?
Yeah, I mean it's still in its infancy, but one of the first when the Ulster County Executive's office told me, look, you do outreach all the time, just keep doing outreach. That's all we really expect you to do. We're not going to give you a whole list of work to do and stuff to that nature. And Arts Mid-Hudson said, hey, you've been doing outreach for years, just keep doing it.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, but I wanted to use the position for advocating, okay? Whether you're advocating for poetry as protest or you're using it for poets like ourselves, I wanted to do that, and they understood that.
The position of being a poet laureate.
Yeah.
That's what your job is.
Yeah, I wanted it to be more of an advocacy position. That's how I wanted to.
And that seems to be working out
for me. Yeah, it seems to be working out. So I didn't want to just set up readings, and it wasn't my thing. So I approached the county with the idea of a poetry archive, because as you know, and as Dave knows, and we've done a lot of work to keep the spoken word or the written word alive in this area for a very long time. And it crosses all different paths. It crosses the cultural path, the societal path, the historical one, the artistic one, the personal one. So, not only the three of us in this room, but other people before us have done that. And I think it deserves to be archived. And when I brought the idea to the county, they jumped all over it, to the point that we're now, CAPS is actually at this point being digitized to go into the archive. And we're developing...
Hold on,
Calling All Poets, yeah,
is being digitized.
Is being digitized as we speak, slowly, because they don't have any volunteers, so it's whenever they can get someone up there. But it's going to be a thing. And in a couple of years, you're going to be able to access Calling All Poets. You have next year's words. You have Lightwood. You have Words Carry Us, Green Kill Sessions. You're going to be able to access this digitally on site until we get all the copyrights from everybody.
Yes.
Because that's got to be taken care of too. So all that's going to be on site. Then once all the copyrights for everybody that's involved or has put material into the archive, once that is all settled, okay, I give you my permission, yeah, sure, okay. Then it's going to go out to the libraries and you can access it online at any time.
So when you say on site, what does that mean?
You would have to go to the Ulster County Board of Records on Foxhall Street in Kingston.
I see.
And there'll be a dedicated computer to it.
Wow.
And whatever information you want to look up Betty MacDonald, want to look up Mike Jurkovic, whatever the case might be. So you get the information there. But again, once all the T's are crossed and the I's are dotted, it'll be sent out to the libraries and anybody can access it at any time.
So it'll be in a lot of different places to be accessed.
It'll be wherever you are. Yeah. Yep.
So do you have something you want to read?
Yeah, let's do
a poem.
Let's do a poem. This is an old one. I guess if you could say that poets have greatest hits, this might be it, or one of them anyway, and it's called Gracie.
Wait a minute. Poets have
greatest hits.
Assists.
A greatest hit.
Greatest hits.
Yeah.
Okay.
And this is called Gracie. There's a grammatical era up ahead that will change everything. How and why, I don't know, because off the top of my head, each mad essay must cast doubt on the one before it, or at least lend a hand to its aberrant cause, which makes for unsure seasons, rising seas, and a lack of wonder. And I know you all have better places to be, like Dunkin' Donuts or debtor's jail. So I'll try to get to where I'm getting at before I get to where I'm going, which was to talk about Gracie Allen, who knew that today's postage stamp was yesterday's head of state, that a country of checks and balances relies really heavily on those checks, and that you never, ever place a comma where God has put a period. Another one?
Sure.
All right, let's do this one. In any book of Manhattan dreams, shadows slant on Crooked Street. St. Peter loiters the cashier's cage. Your rifle's only as good as your scope. The hungry open fire, not wine. And since we're both published poets here and we know what it's like to be on the road, to go read here and there and here and there, let's do Baltimore Tuesday. Skittering after syntax, I deplane and set up shop. There is no open mic, which is for the best, as you'll see about 3 poems in when I really hit my stride and beg for your pocket change. I've registered my international standard book number and Substack. My blog is here, so comment there. Leave a like and share. I sent a copy to my blind Aunt Kate, hoping she senses my iambics and tells her neighbors to buy the book. On Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Face Against Pavement Publishing. 2 for $1, 10% off. Yeah. I'm in Baltimore on Tuesday if you're around.
You've been on the road a lot?
I was in Philadelphia last week, which was a total disaster. But
Oh, was it for a reading?
yeah, it was for a reading. But I mean, the humidity you could cut with a knife.
Oh, yeah.
And it was raining all the time. They messed up my reservation at the hotel. It was half the food that I wanted to eat at the place where I was reading, they ran out of. It was just a disaster. It just was.
Sometimes it just doesn't work out.
No, it just doesn't work out. You know?
Where-
But you do it anyway because you love it.
So what brought you to the Hudson Valley? Are you from here?
No, I'm originally from the Bronx.
Everybody's from the Bronx.
Everybody, that's right. Everybody's from the Bronx. We moved up here into Garrison. My folks wanted to move to. It was a choice between Alaska or somewhere in upstate New York, and they decided, okay, let's go to upstate New York.
Were you a child then?
We moved up here when I was 16. My brother was 13. So I started high school up here, got my license up here, fell in with a few musicians, started writing lyrics around here. And then, of course, I met Emily, which brought me even further up the Hudson Valley because she was from Marlboro. And we got married, settled in Modena, and now everything's here in Ulster County.
That's what got you here. Did you study literature in college? Or did you go to college?
To say I went to college is kind of ipso facto. I went. Did I go to class? I don't know.
Right.
But I was always in the library reading whatever I wanted to read. I didn't get any degrees. But
Where did you go? Where did you not go?
I did not go to I went Dutchess Community College for a year and a half, and then I went to Mercy College down in Briarcliff, somewhere in Briarcliff down in Westchester.
Yeah.
And I just never was interested in getting any degrees. I just always went to the libraries and read there.
I understand. I didn't get a degree either.
All right. Who needs degrees?
And I didn't study theater. I mean, I didn't study literature. I studied theater. I'm kind of like my grandson. He doesn't want anyone to tell him what to paint.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's
So he's taking marine biology.
Whoa, that's off the chart. Okay. Well, maybe he'll get to paint fish at some point.
Maybe that's
You know?
it.
But
No, he's a very accomplished artist, but he
great.
doesn't want to study it.
No, I never. I'll be perfectly honest with you. Except for, like you and how sometimes we swap poetry books and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's the poetry I'm going to read. I'm not going to go out and buy a poetry book. I just don't. I don't think it comes from there. You know,
Right.
I think it comes from whatever you happen to crash your head into.
Right.
And I prefer it that way. You know?
I think it's fine.
Yeah, I think it's fine too.
Look, it hasn't held you back.
I don't think it's held any of us back.
And it
honestly.
hasn't hurt me.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we keep doing what we do, and that's the beautiful part about it. You know?
So, would you like to read some more?
Yeah, I'll read a couple more. I'm actually reading a few new ones. I'm not really reading much from the book, but here's an. Let's read one from the book.
Why not?
Yeah, let's read one from the book. All right, this is actually the poem that kicked the whole book idea off, and it's called "The Charming Ineptness You've Taken to Heart." Dates back to the autumn of 1882. When, in the crimson goodness of Trinity Church, the first of my forebears panned for poetry and gold amid the gilded squalor. Tipsheet Jones moved about the lower borough like the crackling new current that lit up Pearl Street, like vandal stars fallen from God's busy hands. Through the roil and rumble of a city divining, he ran his book and wrote his verse 'neath the hanging tree, where the warm and waning afternoon light was the golden cast of God's smile. In his bowler and shabby frock, he took his poems to the hometown papers, rashly establishing a down-the-decades pattern of editorial rejection down to me, yours truly, who as we speak is weighing rejections one by one by one. When pennies proved few from Waverly readings, Tip took whatever poor boy gigs he could gather. Gravedigger, sewer rat, muck diver, and wooed almond-eyed Angelina Francesca into marriage. 3 kids and a lot of talk about better days. Workers not loitering, living like thieves. Their children without factory fever. The 5 points without blood, without cholera. Days when the city no longer digested its own. That was the one that kicked off the whole book, actually.
Kicked it off.
Yeah, that was the one, and then it just kind of rolled along from there.
Kicked it off to you or to Will?
No, for me.
For you.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's the
yeah.
first poem in the book, and then everything else came after that.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Great.
I like that one. I like that one a lot, actually. I don't know where it came from, but I like that one.
And this book is out now, right?
This book is out now and available for Christmas presents, Easter presents, Halloween
Where
trick-or-treat.
can one find it?
You can find it at www.woodstockarts.org. No, woodstockarts.com. You can find it at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, all the bookstores. It's up in Inquiring Minds, both in Saugerties and in New Paltz.
Great.
So yeah, it's available everywhere.
Terrific. We both have new books out.
See?
I mean, mine's not out yet, but in the next month, I believe it will be.
And we didn't go to college for it either.
We didn't,
Yeah,
well, I
see?
did go to college, but I didn't study poetry. But what I learned in acting, what I learned in theater, has influenced how I write.
Oh yeah. I'll bet.
Yes, yeah. I'm a method actor, and I do a lot of sense memory, did a lot of sense memory, and that just comes in when I'm writing. I'm there. I can see it. I can taste it.
Yeah. I mean, I listen to a lot of music when I'm writing.
Yes.
I never used to, but it's only been over the last 2 or 3 years where it's really kicked in, and it's like, okay, yeah, let's do it that way.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, why not? You know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. No one else can hear it. It's okay. You know.
Well, I was busy making sculpture for a long time, and then I was a travel writer for a while. But I find writing to be the thing I want to do now.
Yeah, I was doing, there used to be several music magazines here in the Hudson Valley. I don't know if folks remember. There was one called Music Machine that eventually became Rhythm and News. And when it became Rhythm and News in the mid-90s, the publisher asked me if I would write reviews and stuff. So that started from there. And then I hooked up with Chronogram for a couple of years, writing reviews and doing interviews. And then this other blues magazine caught wind of what I was doing, asked me if I would write for them. I was writing for them, but there was always the poetry on the side.
Yeah.
Because I was involved lyrically with several musicians, and we were always writing songs together and stuff. So one led to the other, and actually, what led to it is that I was in a duo called New Nervous Voice, and we had New Nervous Voice. Voice, yeah.
Okay.
And we had, we were carrying synthesizers around and drum machines around and guitars, which is the two of us. And it got to be so much work that it was like, you know what? If I just carry a notebook around, I could be a lot easier. And that's what happened. I just started doing that instead of all the music stuff. It's too much work. I mean, God bless these guys who still go out and do it, guys and girls who still go out and do it, but not me.
Well, I got tired of getting dirty. Doing sculpture. It was like, I loved doing it, but I got dirty. I mean, my clothes were dirty, and I had to have a whole building to do it in, so it wouldn't be in my house. And I don't know, from there.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned painting before, and I've been wanting to start painting, but every time I go turn towards a canvas or something, it's like, it'd be a lot easier if I just wrote it down.
Just write it down.
Yeah, it's like,
you just need a pencil.
Yeah, exactly.
And do you, what are the influences, your more important influences? Is it just life? Are there people involved?
I don't think you can be any kind of artist of any discipline, actually, if you're not 100% involved in the daily activity of just living.
Yes.
There's enough to knock you silly. So somehow you got to try and edit it one way, shape, or another. Whether you're sculpting it into shape, or writing it into shape, or painting it, or crafting it musically. Especially now, there's just so much going on. So how do we make sense of it?
Yes.
Someone's going to take one of these paintings and make sense out of it for them.
Right. Right.
You and I happen to do it with words.
Yes.
And that's basically the major influence for me. Yeah, just a daily. Here we are again.
I think my major influence is the fact that I was born in the South. And Southerners love words, and especially in my family. My mother, she loved the feeling of words in her mouth, and she never said anything that wasn't poetic.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. See, that's great.
Yeah.
So when did you move up this way?
Well, I went to school at Emerson College in Boston. And then I went back to Virginia for a while, and then I went to New York to be an actor. And it took me a while. What I liked most about it was acting classes. I loved being in acting classes, but I didn't like looking for work. And I realized that acting means that it's a lifetime of looking for work. But for the last 40 years, I've been with playback theater. You don't have to look for work because we just do it.
Do it. Yeah. Well, I mean, I think being a writer, too, you're always constantly looking for someone that's going to publish it. One way, shape, or another. So it's got its parallels.
It's a little different.
Yeah.
I think.
A little bit, but it's kind of all locked in, really, I think.
So read to us.
Read to you. Oh, okay. Let's see what we got.
You must have something over there you could read.
Yeah, let's do this. Let's do this. Well, how about we do one that Will Nixon and I wrote together? The beautiful part about collaborating, especially with Will, is after a while I can't remember what he wrote and what I wrote. So
Yeah.
I called this thing saltwater taffy, but if you asked me what line I wrote and what line he wrote, I couldn't tell you.
I won't ask.
Roll up your tents, dust off your boots, freaks never scrutinize. Stick out your tongue, extinguish the pool, the sacristy's on fire. Take off your pants, finger your chin, the FBI is looking. She swore she saw Murray the K take off with a boyfriend's wallet. Trim the frost from your beard, the Bronx will always glimmer. Watch Van Gogh in the batter's cage sing Spanish to a squirrel.
You and Will sing that together?
No, I just sing it. I just sing that one. This is the whereabouts of heaven. I was building a skyscraper when I ran out of sky and cozied up to the whereabouts of heaven. Above our false hosannas, way up in the clouds where no one speaks but everyone sings beautifully and in tune. Above the movement of money, gunfights and late-stage cancer, great school body counts and shots per round. Up there, in the blue, beyond wonder, where tomorrow threatens no one, where angels woo the glade. Want to do another one?
Sure.
All right. What do you say?
Oh, jazz
Oh,
poetry.
jazz poetry you want. Okay, let's try this. No, oh, man. Okay. All right, let's do a little. All right, let's do this one. As soon as I find it, we can do it. All right, this one. This one I usually do stand up and bounce off the walls. We don't have to do it
Oh,
now.
okay.
This is a drift. A drift. Adjective and adverb in a drifting state, drifting uncertainty, uncertitude and doubt, doubtfulness and dubiousness, a hesitation, suspense, perplexity or an embarrassment, a dilemma, bewilderment, a puzzle, a quandary, for timidity, etc., and fear. Vacillation, wavering intermination, vague, hazy, foggy, and obscure ambiguousness, an open question, a blind bargain, a pig and a poke and a leap in the dark, a fallibility we all feel, an unreliability we all untrust, a precariousness. I hesitate when I'm adrift. I flounder. I miss my way. I wander aimlessly. I beat about. I lose myself. I lose my head, and I perplex those around me. And I pose. I puzzle and confuse and confound and bewilder and doubt, etc., etc. I'm uncertain, unsure, casual, random, and aimless, doubtful, dubious, insecure, and unstable, indecisive for sure, and irresolute, unsettled, undecided, undetermined, and questionable, experimental, and tentative. I'm vague, indefinite, ambiguous, equivocal, undefined, confused, and mysterious, cryptic, and veiled obscurity, undefinable. I'm oracular, perplexing, enigmatic, and paradoxical, apocryphal, and problematic, cantankerous, fallible, questionable, debatable, untrustworthy, unreliable, and irresponsible. So don't deal with me when I'm puzzled, pickled, perplexed, or I'm at loss, adrift, at sea, at fault, at loss, or I'm at my wits' end, distracted and distraught and adrift.
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 Yes.
Adrift. Want to do a political one?
Sure.
All right, let's do this one. Excuse me. You know, one of the real weird things about the politics of our time is that, you know, we were all known as the Woodstock Nation there for a long time.
Yeah.
And You know, we used to have our parents and our grandparents to blame for, oh, that's why the world isn't the way it is, supposed to the way we want it to be, right? Now we have only ourselves to blame because some of those folks that were in Woodstock are voting against what we think we should have. So this is called one of them. A certain suburban gonad twister and his scorpion maid by the house next door, and there's no playing field long enough. No playing field wide enough to escape his agitation, the mechanical slur of his fictional lawn, his rude machines that cut the land his imperial way. He's one of those gearheads who RPM and rev you awake every Saturday at 8 a.m., hoards long jockeys and talks to his tools. Yeah, he's one of them who I would not have dreamed to call one of them that weekend at Woodstock, Newport, Monterey. Another one?
Yes, please.
Oh, okay. Where is...
Can I remind you that your camera is here?
Yeah, I know. Yes. How about this? Let's lighten it up a little bit. This is called Worst Song Ever. Why, oh freaking why, would you make the worst song ever made even louder? Don't our sensory whatnots take enough abuse given the dissonant ring of our coinage? Kenny G, Kenny Loggins, Kenny Rankin, Kenny Rogers. It's a Kenny, I know, balls the back road bar lass from County Down who hopes I propose before the next guy. It's not a Kenny at all, I say with a vodka leer, knowing sadly well it's disturbing, despicable 1974 remake from Swedish rock band Blue Suede of that utterly banal B.J. Thomas song, which wasn't a bad song the first 10, 12, 15 million, 20,000 times it crossed the Great Lakes of our consciousness. But now, like this, cranked to unbearable, God forbid these descending times. We all have those horrible songs. There was one I did want to do. This one's based on a true story.
Oh, great.
You just got to find it. Uh-oh. He's shuffling. Watch out. I did a reading recently in Manhattan, and a friend, another poet, friend of mine, Jim Zimmerman actually was his name, he was the co-feature with me. And so he lives in Westchester, and I obviously live up here, so we're waiting for two separate trains. So we're sitting at one of the wine bars in Grand Central, and his train comes about 20 minutes or so earlier than mine. He splits, and I'm left there having another glass of wine. And literally, he no sooner leaves his stool than this woman pulls right up, sits down, fairly attractive, in her 50s, I'd say. And I swear to you, this is the first line she says to me. They don't make Quaaludes anymore, she said out of the blue, taking a seat. You're right, I said, recalling the rush, the warmth of sedation. They replaced it with heroin, which killed, of course, she said. And I, having attended 6 memorials and sidestepping 3, agreed with a silence that killed. What wine is that, she asked, surely a soldier of Blue Nun, Ripple, Thunderbird, Matus. It's a Tuscany 2020, I say, hoping I sounded like I said. A glass of that, she asked. And as the pour commenced, she asked me for a poem of place, of wine, of a man content with himself. And I, never at a loss for words, obliged. And that is a true story.
I like true stories.
And we like true stories.
Yes, yes. So do you have one more,
One more? Yeah.
please?
Yes. You know, we've all been hearing a lot about 250 and 250. Well, 250 is actually 25 decades, and this is called 25. I have tired of America. Its alternate facts, its homeless, hapless homage to decay, the day-to-day dregs of empire, its poverty line, its wars, its progeny cry, its banned books, Jim Crow, Supreme Court, data centers, detention centers, Central Command, Department of War, Neanderthal rage. I have tired of America, but not its people. In the streets, calling for change, chasing that perfect union promised 25 decades ago.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yes. So tell me, Mike, what have we left out?
Oh, with just the poet memoriam thing, one of the initiatives that I brought to Ulster County, along with the Poetry Archive, was that I thought we should pay homage to some of the great writers that have lived here in the Hudson Valley. And I brought this idea to them, and they asked for a couple of names. I gave them a couple of names.
And this is part of the archives?
No,
project?
this will be separate from the archives.
Separate, yeah.
I gave them a couple names for for factual. I gave Don Lev and his wife Enid Dame, who I don't think there's anybody from New York to in the tri-state area anyway,
Right.
that wasn't affected by either Donald or Enid at some point in their
Right.
lives. And they love the idea of a poet memoriam. We're just trying to figure out how we're going to do it, whether we want to do Donald, when Enid passed away many, many years ago. But Donald passed away about 5 or 6 years ago, if I'm not mistaken. He was living in High Falls. So do we take a section of a sidewalk in High Falls and, you know, cast his name, you know, and whatever the word is, scratch his name into the sidewalk or something? Do we have a plaque that stays that moves around the Ulster County libraries for that? And it would, or however we figure it out. And they're really hip to the idea, so I like that. But it will become the responsibility of successive poet laureates in the area
To add to it.
add to it.
And when
Yes.
you say they, who do you mean? You said
The
they.
county.
The county.
The county. Yeah, the county was very interested in the idea. They thought, especially the tourism department, because they felt that it could add, because Ulster County has a thing called Imagine Ulster, and it's based primarily on promoting the arts.
Right.
And as you and I both know, one of the least promoted art is the written word, the spoken word, poetry.
Right.
And when the folks at the tourism board for Ulster County caught on to the idea, I was like, no, we got to work on this. Let's really do something here. Because it could bring, it could be somebody trips over on one of Don Lev's books somewhere along the line, okay? And all of a sudden they happen to be in Rosendale. They drive up to go to Accord, and they pass through High Falls, and there's Donald's name on a sidewalk or on
Yes.
a plaque somewhere. And I just think that's a beautiful thing, so that's one of the initiatives we're working on. I'm sorry to the successive poet laureates that I've given you that responsibility, but that's just how it's going to be.
Well, it's time for it.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's overdue, actually.
Yes,
A lot of
definitely.
counties have that. I mean, a lot of municipalities have that, and there's no reason why we can't.
Why can't we be proud of our poets?
That's right.
For
Absolutely.
sure.
That's right.
And the people who've gone before.
Yeah.
We don't want to forget them.
No, absolutely not.
Anything else we forgot?
No.
We've covered everything.
Yes. Thank you.
Well, Mike, it's been a pleasure.
It's been more than a pleasure. It's been
Thank
a
you
good
so
time.
much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Um,
Thank you, David.
Tonight's guest on Words Carry Us from Greenkill has been poet and author Mike Jurkovic. Friday night at Greenkill, our lively salon-style monthly exhibition series where creativity and community came together takes place twice a month. September event dates are Friday, September 4th and Friday, September 18th from 7 to 10 p.m. Join us in celebrating Greenkill's final regularly scheduled exhibition of 2026, an evening of art, open mic performance, and good company, featuring the work of 15 artists, including Deirdre Day, Gary Mayer, Peter Head, Lynn Woods, and as well as 7 other artists. On August 21st at 8 p.m., Greenkill Sessions presents Radiator with Federico Balducci. Half a Pow performs Saturday, August 22nd at 8 p.m. And Gus Mancini and his Sonic Soul Band appear on August 23rd at 8 p.m. For more information about exhibitions as well as live stream and live audience events, or to schedule a special appointment, please call 347-689-2323 or reach us through 229greenkill@greenkill.org. Located at 229 Greenkill Avenue in Kingston, New York, Greenkill is a public arts, performance, and education gallery space. As always, we are grateful to David Schell, who organizes, directs, and makes things happen here at Greenkill. Our thanks to Shirley Hoffman-Warren, who composed and performed our musical theme, assisted by recording engineer Jason Warren. Many thanks to you for tuning in and watching us on YouTube. Again, our guest tonight on Words Carry Us live stream from Greenkill has been poet, author Mike Jurkovic.
Thank you, everybody.
I hope you've enjoyed Words Carry Us for August 15th, 2026. Greenkill out.